Okay, now you're good.
So today I'm going to explain to you what's the wheel size and durometer and then shape does, and then help you select the wheels that you want. And this is mostly about street skateboarding or skate park skateboarding. This isn't about old school boards, long boards like those soft wheels. That's not what we're going to talk about today. First thing is the size, like what size you want, and what the size really do is like basically first thing is like smaller it gets, it will keep the board lighter and then low to the ground, so like you have easier time flipping the board, or just generally be easier to do tricks. But then the downside of that is it's gonna be rougher on the ground. So like if ground is rough, then smaller wheel is gonna have a lot of harder time going through those rougher areas, because of the fact that it will catch a lot of the whatever the imperfection of the ground is. It will just like keep getting into it, like reduce the speed. So like bigger wheels generally go a lot more smoother. It just feels smoother. It goes faster because the wheel is big and then it rolls over a lot easier. So like bigger wheels tend to go faster, and then but then it's heavier. It's that a lot more heavier. This wheel is like a lot more heavier than this wheel right here, and so like when you do tricks, like you're gonna feel it. Like if your wheel is like a little bit bigger, and like in order to get bigger wheel on your board, you would have to have higher trucks. So then because of that, like your board setup gonna be heavier. So like if you go into a lot of flip tricks and stuff, like you don't want the bigger wheels in general. But anyways, so what do you want to pick, right? Like, do you want to go just like all the way down to like 49 millimeter, which is like very small, but like, and then there's like 58 millimeter street wheel, and that's like huge, you know? But most people stay within 52, 53, 54. So like, do you feel like if surface is like a little bit rougher where you skate, I'll go with 54. If surface is like a little bit like you're gonna mostly skate on the skate parks and stuff, like I'll go with like 52, and then like somewhere in the middle 53. And then if you're gonna do a lot of flip tricks, I'll go with 52. If you're gonna like go like riding bulls and stuff, you want to go fast, you know, I'll go like 54 even or up. So that's like probably a good gauge, you know, 52, 53, 54, and then which way you want to go. So, and then you will see like when you try to get a wheel, it says like something like 99A, like right here, 99.0. Like durometer is like a how hard the wheel is. So like this case doesn't really say on the, okay, right here, let's go close, like 95A right there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I think it's on the front too, over there, down on the right hand side.
Oh, 95A right there.
Bam.
So 95A is like a softer side. Like number is smaller, it's softer, and then number is high. So like if you look at this one, 103A right there, that's like a hardest one you can get in the market right now. And then if you look at softer wheels, like old school wheels, it will say things like 78A right there. So like this is really soft. So basically 99A is like probably most common. You could say 101 is most common. I'm not 100% sure, but basically 99A has slight more traction to the ground than 101A. So like if you go to the skate shop or something, it would probably be most likely 99A. 101A or like Bones 103A. So 99A is like a plenty good. It's plenty hard. Still gets like some amount of traction to the ground. Like basically your entire body weight's gonna sit on this small areas of the wheel. So like basically you're not gonna slip around that much. Even if you have 103A, but the thing is, say like if you're going to go place where concrete is like super smooth, like shiny smooth, then like now like you're talking about like 103A could be slightly slippery, you know, like when you go up the bowls or something and try to turn and then it's just like accidentally slip or something. So like that case, like you want to go with generally something like 99. And then when you start grinding or sliding a lot, you start to get contact with the ledges or rails, like crooked grind or like Smith grind. Like your wheel's gonna go on the edge of the ledge, or like it's gonna sit on the rail on the sideways or something. Now you're talking about actually if wheel's gonna stop you when you're about to do grind tricks, because like the softer wheel's gonna get a lot more friction out of the ledge. So like now you want something really, really hard. So that case, I would go with at least 101 if you start grinding tricks a lot. And then it's like you try something like, say like you try Smith grind and then like it's like kind of stop you. It's either the kingpin of the truck or the wheel. So like, or crooked grind, it kind of like you get on it and you seems like you're getting pretty good balance, but they just like it stops you. It's most likely the wheel. So like, so that case, like I will bump up to the harder wheels because of the friction. And yeah, but generally if you stay in, if you're skate park skating, like if the surface is not metal or something, I think most likely you'll be fine with either 99 or 101. And then the shape of the wheel. So this is like a most classical shape right here. Like a lot of wheels shaped like this, or like a little bit like that. This is a little more square right here. And then you can see stuff like fat wheels like this, like really wide. And then there's a skinny wheels like this. So let's start with the skinny wheels. Like, so this one would get a really good lock in and a really good contact with the ground, but at the same time, so like I switched it to something a little more narrower than my last wheels, and then it started giving me a lot more space for grinding space. So like when you have a truck, like the distance in between like these two area right here, if it gets like slightly wider, you actually can grind a lot easier. But at the same time, if you get a skinny wheel, then like your bore's gonna contact with the ground, it's gonna get a little bit skinnier, and then you're gonna lose just a little bit of stability by choosing skinny wheels. And then if you go with something wide, now when you try to get into grind tricks and stuff, like your grinding area is like getting skinnier, and then you have a wider stance, so to speak. Like, so you get a lot more stable with the wider wheel, but then like when you try to get into the grind, like your grind space is very narrow. And then what else shape will impact? So like when you do like grind tricks like crooked grind and Smith grind or something like that, like your wheel's gonna sit like kind of sideways like this. So it's gonna sit like this, you know, or something like that. And then so when you have like sharper edges like this, like sometimes it will stop you because of it. Like it just like kind of like, oh, you know, like it's just like sharp edge gonna hit the like some kind of sharp edge on the other side, and then it's gonna cause like too much friction, so like it could stop you right there. So that's like another thing to consider. Shape, generally, if you're starting with like your skill level is like not quite there yet, then like I would just choose like classical shape. Or like if you want like a little bit more smoother ride, I'll get something a little wider like this, you know? So yeah. Next subject is the brand name. So do you want which brand is like a good brand, you know, like kind of stuff. So basically Spitfire and Bones wheels, they're the top dog of the market right now. So Spitfire right there, and then Bones wheels, they're the best wheels in the market right now. And then I'll say next best one is like a Ricta and the OJ wheels right here. Like they're, but I personally like these guys better than Bones wheels or Spitfire wheels. I personally had like a lot better response on my skateboarding when I skated Ricta and the OJ wheels. I like them both. If you are thinking about not spending too much money, I feel like mini logo wheels are one of the best wheels on a lower price range, because actually this is made by Powell, and mini logo wheels are made by Powell, and Powell makes Bones wheels too. So these are still plenty good. I skated mini logo for like couple years, and like I never had any problems or like it's sticking too much or slipping out too much or anything like that. So like if you're on a low budget, I'll go with mini logo. And then so there's like a lot of brands that make boards, like say like Blind or Primitive or Girl, or like different companies actually make wheels for, but then like are they any good? Like I would say they're not that good. They're kind of slow, they're kind of a little bit softer, they're if you're just starting out, they're plenty good, you know, they're plenty good. But then once you start doing grind tricks, like once you just start doing like power slide or just flat spot or something, so like generally if you're thinking like kind of like you're pre-committed about it, I would avoid wheels that that is not just wheel company, so to speak. They're like kind of like board company, and they make wheels on the side. Generally their qualities are not one of the top quality, but they are still way better than say some cheap Amazon wheels. So they're still plenty good. It's just that like once you start getting into nitty gritty like tricks and stuff, like it started becoming like wheels becoming kind of like it's slightly harder to push, and then slightly harder to do grind tricks and stuff. So if you're serious about it, I would avoid like those brands. So and I'm sometimes like this wheel, like foreign wheels right here, they're pretty good. They're actually really hard. So like it depends, you know. So yeah. So hopefully this helped you choose your wheels. And to sum it up, I would say if you still don't know what you want, I'll go with either 99A, 101A, and then I'll go with 52, 53, 54, whichever one you want. And then just kind of normal shape, like classic wheel shape, or like a little bit fatter one, you know, like so. So yeah, so hopefully that helped you out. If you want a certain review video to be made, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up if this helped you out. And then what else? Subscribe to us. Yes, or something like that.
Subscribe to us.
Yeah, but yeah. All right. You guys have fun skateboarding, and I'll see you on next video. bunch of more down there, but anyways.